You cannot build up an entire program for a year, strap a rocket ship to the thing that you're saying, yes, we're going to the moon with this is going to be the next big thing, this is going to happen, it's trending all over the world. You cannot do that and then turn around and say, we changed our mind. If they don't get their act together, then when it comes to Philadelphia, at the biggest show of the year, the audience is literally going to cut them to shreds. Welcome back to Creative Business Made Simple. I'm your lovable host, John Morris, the artist, author, and coach for the creative mind, and welcome to the only show that helps you get from where you are to where you want to be in your creative endeavors and beyond. Before we go any further, stop the train, stop the bus, hold up the passengers, everything else, hit that subscribe button, because doing so will enter you into the free sweepstakes where you're going to get the opportunity to win free monthly giveaways. Now, a lot of people ask you to subscribe, and you're like, yeah, whatever. They ask you, like, yeah, whatever. They ask you to share with your friends, blah, whatever. At the end of the day, we want you to do this, and as an incentive, you are going to get the opportunity to win big between winning any one of our brand new books like AI Unleashed or Creative Business Made Simple, or all the way up to monthly coaching with yours truly, either in the group sessions or one-on-one. These prizes are big, and there's lots more that we've got rolling out over 2024 and beyond. But I want you to go ahead and do that before we do anything else. Once you've done that, then come on back in and we shall begin today's show. Tick, 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 tick. I'm assuming you're done. Right, here we go. So, this week we are continuing sort of a theme on wrestling. Because wait, before you run away, before you run away, do not hit skip or whatever else. Because you can learn a lot about business from watching professional wrestling, from watching professional sport, and sometimes watching what not to do. And we're going to talk about that in today's show and a little bit more. So, for wrestling fans, this is the show for you. Yes, if you are the fans of Andre the Giant, Hulk Hogan, the Iron Sheik, Abdullah the Butcher, if you're fans of Shawn Michaels, Roddy Piper, Jake the Snake Roberts, the list goes on and on and on, then this show is for you. Hold on a second. If you are fans of business, on how to get from where you are to where you want to be step by step, and talk about business, avoiding the pitfalls, avoiding the mistakes, and all that other stuff, then this show is also for you. Guess what? We're combining both audiences, and I am fired up tonight! Because what we are talking about is something that has been trending now for the last, I don't know how many hours, how many days, and it's a hashtag called We Want Cody. You heard me right. I did not say we want codeine. I did not say we want anything else. It's not a pop band. It's not a rock star. Well, depending on how you think about it, but it's literally support for Cody Rhodes. Now, Cody Rhodes is the son of the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, and comes from a long lineage, a long line in professional wrestling, third generation. Now, why is he significant? Because right now, an injustice is taking place in the world of wrestling where a lot of people, quite frankly, are insanely angry about it. If you watch wrestling, or even if you watch the news, you will know that WrestleMania 40 is coming up. Yes, I remember all the way back to WrestleMania 4, and I've seen pretty much all other WrestleManias throughout my last 36 years, which is quite amazing. Here's the thing. So what the heck's going on? So let's backtrack a little bit. For you non-wrestling fans, the Royal Rumble is an event where basically there's a big battle that goes on, 30 participants go in, there's one winner, and he or she gets the right to win, or an opportunity, shall we say, to win the world title at the main event, the granddaddy of them all, the biggest spectacle, again, the Super Bowl, the World Series, the World Cup. This is the equivalent that the World Wrestling Entertainment, former federation, has in this event. So Cody Rhodes won the Royal Rumble in 2023. He went on to face Roman Reigns, the world champion, the longest reigning champion of our modern time. And he lost. Okay, under controversy, but he lost. Now, Cody came back to the WWE after being in AEW, which is a rival promotion. He built up that company. He felt the WWE had nothing to offer him. And basically, he's come back now to the WWE to finish the story. This is the big story that's going out. So why is this significant? Because for a time we thought Cody had dropped off the map kind of thing and moved on and whatnot. But guess what? Royal Rumble 2024 came along and it was going to be a battle between two big superstars. But Cody Rhodes won. Cody Rhodes won the Royal Rumble again. Which logic would dictate, all right, okay, he's now got another opportunity to face Roman Reigns to end the story, to do what he couldn't do last year. And everybody thinks, wow, this is amazing, this is incredible. Yes, it is, but there's one problem. There was sort of a stone thrown into the mix, or shall we say a rock that was thrown into the mix, because a couple of weeks ago, The Rock made his stellar return. Now, for those of you that don't know who The Rock is, you're probably more familiar with his name, Dwayne Johnson. He's appeared in Jumanji most recently and Jungle Cruise, just to give you a few of his later films. But he came back now. He is related in some way to Roman Reigns. I'm not exactly certain how. Some say that he's cousins, some say that he's not related at all. There's something there in the Samoan heritage. Roman Reigns has been calling himself the tribal chief, the head of the table. The Rock is a legitimate tribal chief. So The Rock has now come back and basically is challenging Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. Which means, for those of you that saw Friday Night SmackDown a couple of weeks ago, The Rock has literally inserted himself into Cody's spot and booted Cody out. Now, again, one of these mornings, I got up early and I sat listening to all of the things. Now, here's the thing. The WWE, not aside the Vince McMahon sex allegation controversy, which we covered in the last video. If you haven't seen that, I encourage you, once this is done, go back and check that out, because I cover it in full and it's factual. It's not just, emotion or anything like that. That's like, we deal with facts. So, The Rock comes back, kicks Cody out the spot, and basically now he's sort of going to Seth Rollins, and it's like, great, that's a big festering, steaming pile of you-know-what. Because, and a lot of people, so before I give my verdict and my view, a lot of people have come back and said, well, is there a way out of this? Now that The Rock has returned, what do we do here? Because, and if you're wondering there, how passionate wrestling fans are, I want to give you a few statistics. Not only at every live event, Raw and SmackDown, are the fans booing and sabotaging the events because of what WWE is trying to push, but also they're chanting in the middle of matches that have nothing to do with Dwayne Johnson, nothing to do with The Rock. Rocky sucks. Now, so for those of you that don't know, The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, once Vince McMahon stepped aside on the board of directors, The Rock has now basically sitting at the head of the table, pardon the pun, as one of the board of directors. So a lot of people feel like Dwayne Johnson has just come back and basically inserted himself into the main event, which should have been Cody's spot, which should have been the story, which should have been there, which is everything the WWE has sort of been leading to for the last, I would say probably the last year. Now, as we said right at the beginning of the show, you cannot strap a rocket ship to the back of your main talent, the back of somebody that you want to see, the back of somebody who's got so much support, if you don't know how much support Cody actually has. When The Rock came out on Friday Night SmackDown and moved Cody aside, after Cody has just announced to Roman Reigns, it won't be against you that I face WrestleMania. There's somebody else that wants this. The Rock came out, guess what? 600,000 people disliked that video. To give you sort of an idea, Wembley Stadium, I believe, can hold 200,000 people. The AT&T Stadium, I believe in Texas, holds 100,000 people. It would be 6 AT&T stadiums or 3 Wembley stadiums that have gone to The Rock. Now, Bully Ray does a show with Dave, I forget his second name. Someone will comment, I'm sure. And Mark Henry was there as well. Now, these, Bully Ray, formerly known as Bubba Ray Dudley, and Mark Henry are former wrestlers. Bubba came back and he's offering, words of wisdom on how to get out of this and, what the WWE needs to do to put this right. And he said, it needs to end in Madison Square Garden at the Survivor Series, which is sort of a pay-per-view 8 months from, well, maybe, yeah, the 8th month of the year, I think it is, maybe the 9th month of the year. The Thanksgiving night tradition. And, that's where Cody needs to win it, in Madison Square Garden. You put Dusty Rhodes on, it's going to be amazing. Here's the thing, honestly, as a fan, as somebody who sits there and has watched and has followed and has, I could care less about Madison Square Garden. I could care less about the Survivor Series. I can remember a few, and if I'm really pressed, because I've got that kind of memory, especially when it comes to wrestling, if I was really pressed, I could tell you the majority of main event matches at the Survivor Series up until about 2000. So the idea that you could just do this at another time, doesn't really fly well with me. Lesson number 1, folks, for business is you cannot, without justifiable reason, present something humongous to people that people are going to get behind, that people are going to fall in love with, people are going to be buying the merchandise, people are going to be investing their time, their attention, their money, everything into. You cannot then turn around and say, no, we decided to give you something else. I don't want the something else. I want to see Cody Rhodes in this situation because he's earned it. So Bubba comes out with that statement, and honestly, I sat there and I jotted down some notes, and I said the only way that this actually works is this way. It's a Philadelphia crowd, just so you know. Now, Philadelphia used to be the home of Extreme Championship Wrestling, which is a lethal organization, let's be honest. It is full of hardcore wrestling fans that if they don't like something, they are not going to be shy about being vocal about it. That's when you know people love what's going on and are really passionate about it. The problem is WWE have done this a couple of times before. They did it with 3 other superstars, with Daniel Bryan, now Daniel Bryan's son, CM Punk, and by the looks of it, they even did it to a degree with Drew McIntyre, but they've done it now seemingly with Cody Rhodes. The only way that this works out, where you can have any form of resolution at all, is this. The Rock needs to back off. Completely. Now, you could have The Rock versus Roman, Night 1, WrestleMania main event. And you could have Cody, Roman, WrestleMania main event, Night 2. That could work. It cheapens Cody's victory because Roman's already wrestled. You want Roman at his absolute best. That's first thing. The second thing that I think I would question is why Rock is just coming back now. Now, people say, yeah, he's closing in on 50, he's massive, he's jacked, he's all of these kind of things. He doesn't think he's going to have that many more shots. So, okay, why didn't he do it 2 years ago? Why are we just getting this now? So that's the second thing. Hence why people are saying that this is like a conspiracy against Cody. The Rock has done this before, numerous times, and WWE have allowed him to do it. And I think, sorry, but that's wrong. So the only way I see this working out is this. Cody, Roman Reigns, main event, WrestleMania, Night 2 for the world title with Cody going over. That is the end to the story. That's why Jesse Ventura said, this former governor of Minnesota, he said this, win it in WrestleMania, where everyone remembers it. Not at Survivor Series, not in the Garden. And I don't mean to diminish or cheapen that in any way, shape or form, because those are big significant things. But compared to WrestleMania, how many football games do you remember who won? But I bet if I pressed you, you could remember, if you're a fan of the World Cup, you could remember a lot. Back to 1966, when England won. What I'm saying is, it has to be significant. Now, there's something else. So the first thing is, if you are for the business people, if you are looking to strap your rocket ship to something, a product, someone, this is what you're hedging your hopes on. This is something that you're looking to take you to that next stratosphere, to something amazing, something wonderful. You need to follow through. You cannot then just turn around and say, nah, decided going elsewhere, because the fans feel cheated. And when they've seen this over and over and over and over again, they're going to stop giving you their attention. That's the first thing. 600,000 people have spoken and turned around and said, nope, we're not happy with this. We don't want this. We want Cody. But the other thing is, well, this is sort of point 3. So the first thing is follow through on what you actually claim. The second one is listen to your audience and what they're telling you en masse. No, we're not talking about 1 or 2 people here. We're talking about 600,000 people turned around and said, Rock, we don't want you. Go back to Hollywood. I mean, The Rock has actually gotten death threats, and his daughter has gotten death threats over this. This is how passionate wrestling fans are. How insanely passionate wrestling fans are. The third thing is this. Cody Rhodes is known as a very respectful wrestler. He dresses in suits and ties and, has custom-made things, and he's a very nice man. But Cody, if you get the chance to see and hear this is a real battle. In a real fight, when you have scratched and clawed and gnawed and gnashed and fought your way to do what you're doing, are you really going to let somebody come in and say, well, I want this spot now, and I'm just going to take it. I've no right to it. I've no warrant or no merit to this, but I'm just going to take it. That's what a king does. That's what a tribal chief does. And if you're going to be a world champion, you've got to stand up and you've got to play the real thing out. You've got to say, well, I won the Royal Rumble, but I guess that doesn't mean anything these days. It's all meaningless because WWE have decided there's more money in investing into The Rock. But here's the thing. Hundreds of thousands of people are trending you. Not The Rock, not Dwayne Johnson, not WWE, but you, Cody. You have to stand up. You have to fight for this. You have to be able to say, no, actually, I won the Royal Rumble. I don't care what The Rock wants. I'm choosing Roman. How passionate the fans were was indicated on Monday Night Raw when halfway through, Cody Rhodes actually had to tweet, thanks for the support, guys. I got this, or whatever it was. I paraphrase. I don't have the tweet in front of me. But thanks for the support, guys, because the fans were hijacking the show. Because they weren't interested in a bull rope match that Cody was in. They weren't interested in some, nah, great, okay, you're taking away from us our main event, and you've done this one time too often. What about if you'd done that with Steve Austin in 1998? That would have never, ever happened. Your attitude here would never have happened. What about if you'd done that with Hulk Hogan? You wouldn't have a WWE. You wouldn't have a big corporate empire that's there. But here's the follow-up. Okay, so after WrestleMania, you used to have a show called Backlash. I don't know if they've still got it or not because they keep changing around the pay-per-views here, there, and everywhere. But here is what I would do. Have Cody, Roman, WrestleMania, world title, main event, night 2, Cody goes over. Immediately after, you can do it even the same night. Let Cody have his celebration. But while Roman is still in the ring, have The Rock appear on the Titantron. Or The Rock appear on the top of the stage, looking down. Let him know that this is still going on. The Rock looks straight down there at Roman, his fallen prone body. He smiles and he walks back. What does that mean? That leads you then into the next event. Okay? This is sort of point 4. Planning. If you are going to change things, this is going to be a mess. Whatever, but you can plan this, okay? So we've established Cody beats Roman, WrestleMania, Cody wins, everybody's happy, they've got the ending they want, wow, amazing, incredible, hallelujah. We need that right now in the world that we live in. We've only a couple of minutes left of the show, so I'm very much aware of that. But after that, the next night, on Monday Night Raw, or Friday Night SmackDown, the next opportunity, you have Roman come out or The Rock come out. Rock! I accept your challenge. At the next pay-per-view, which is Backlash or Payback or whatever it is, you and me, let's decide this once and for all. So you've had WrestleMania that is literally sold out and exploded all over the place. Amazing, amazing. Oh my goodness, this is incredible. Now, you've got a WrestleMania-worthy next pay-per-view. Now, this kind of stuff is very hard to replicate. You have Roman. You have The Rock. And that's where you have, as Bubba Ray Dudley, Bully Ray rightly said, you bring down the entire Samoan dynasty. Afa, Sika, Rikishi, all the others. You have the Usos basically subdued by the old-timers, the wild Samoans. That's where you do this. That's how you do this. And you might say, well, who the hell are you to turn around and say, you know, what they should do? Do you realize, guess what? Okay, I don't know much about running a billion-dollar empire, but I know a lot about being creative. I know a lot about how to sort of tell stories, how to finish stories, how to fix stories, which in my humble opinion is something the WWE really needs right now. They need to do crisis management, because if they present at WrestleMania 40, Rock, Roman as the main event, and they kick Cody Rhodes, and this is no disrespect to Seth Rollins, but they kick Cody with Seth Rollins, and it just becomes another match. You have stolen the moment. And WWE is meant to be all about moments. It's meant to be all about putting smiles on faces. Guess what? You've peed a lot of people off. The right thing to do is The Rock to step aside. And for The Rock to say, you know what, Roman? I'm going to let Cody have his spot. He won the Royal Rumble. I have no claim to this. It would be unfair of me to do anything. However you want to get out of this. And then for him to say, Cody, you have my blessing. Go after him with everything you've got, because Roman, if Cody doesn't get it done, then at the next pay-per-view, whatever it might be, I will. So we've established here, just as we wrap up the show, because we've already gone over time, I'm getting notifications that I need to wrap it up. But literally, you need to follow through on your promises. You need to make sure you've got a well-thought-out plan. You don't just ditch everything at the change of a hat or a knee-jerk or a whim or whatever. You don't steal happy moments from people who so desperately, desperately need it. And most importantly, if you have an idea and this builds and it builds and it builds and it builds, know how to develop it. Know how to get past this next sort of hurdle. WrestleMania, Cody, Romans. Next event, Rock, Roman. Good grief. I mean, you've got a massive blockbuster right there. And you could have that all the way throughout the summer. And then you can settle back into the 2 and 4th, the to and fro with Cody and Roman. All that kind of stuff. But folks, I really want to hear what you've got to hear. What you've got to say. I want to hear what you've got to say. As always, I want to thank you so much for watching. Thank you for letting me rant and ramble and hopefully teach you some things today, and express, my own learning things and things that I've learned over the many, many years of being in business. You can learn so much on how not to do things by watching bigger businesses. But the great thing is you can chime in, and if you've got ideas, they can literally change the world. I know, because I've seen it firsthand. Thank you so much for watching. We invite you to come back and check us out next week. Go ahead, hit that subscribe button, share with your friends, tell them, because it could be the very thing they need to hear in that hour of struggle. Till next time, folks, take care, God bless. I gotta run. I've been your host, John Morris. This has been Creative Business Made Simple. See you next time.